How will China proceed and where does it go from here? Let's ask Derek Scissors. He is a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and CNBC contributor. Drewardric McNeal, a senior policy analyst at Longview Global. Drewardric, I'm going to begin with you. Let's first off, the real issue here is humanity. I can't begin to comprehend what millions of people in China have gone through, being forcibly locked in their homes for nearly 3 years, unable to see loved ones who are dying in the hospital of other diseases, just like around the world. So that aside, the humanitarian angle aside, do you think that President Xi and his party are at any risk from these protests, or will they be just put down like China has done with so many others in the past?
Brian, it's a very good question. I agree with you. This has been a tough way to try and make a living and try and survive in China. I think what we're seeing is citizens at their breaking point. This will cause some anger, some embarrassment, perhaps, for Xi Jinping, but I don't believe his authority is at risk, Brian. He has vanquished all of the people who could take advantage of some of this dissent in the streets. There's no competition in the higher ranks of the party, and no one, therefore, to act on all of the anger that we're seeing in the streets. I think we are going to see attempts to quietly suppress this. As I've said earlier, China has a number of tools at its disposal. That's not just a physical manifestation of cracking down. They have all sorts of high-tech monitoring, biometrics, geolocation software. So we're going to see this slowly cool down. Won't threaten Xi's authority, unfortunately, for some people.
Yeah, and it's just unbelievable to think about how they're living when they're watching, the World Cup and 70,000 people are in a stadium, or even their own president, by the way, meeting at the recent G20 with a mask off, speaking to other world leaders. They see that. All right, so Derek, if that's the case, two ways you can see this going. Do you think that the Chinese government might bend a little bit in the face of these protests, or go the other way? And we're going to show you want to protest, we're going to make it worse. You could see them doing that, Derek.
China often responds to protests by paying off the protesters, just hand out a little money to angry workers. That doesn't work here, obviously, because what the protesters want is an opening up, which is a much bigger decision than borrowing some money and giving it to people. I agree that Xi Jinping's authority is not in danger, but his decision making is in question. This all stems from his mistakes in 2020, thinking COVID would blow over and China handled it perfectly and bragging about it. And now citizens see that the world has moved on and China hasn't. So I don't think they can, their normal strategy doesn't work here. And we're in a period of a lot of volatility because this is a fundamentally political decision. It should be a health decision, but it's not because it involves Xi Jinping's prestige.
Derek, back to you. Does the U.S. take a role in this?
I think the U.S. role, if we chose to take a role, it would be high risk. We need to put pressure, to use propaganda. I mean, as you've mentioned, the Chinese people are seeing Xi Jinping overseas not wearing a mask. They're seeing the World Cup. We could highlight that. We could put more pressure on their regime. That is a high-risk strategy. I think the U.S. Should probably step back, talk about our wonderful vaccines that Xi Jinping refused to import, but not pressure China such that we'd have a major role.
Yeah, do you agree with that, Drewardric? I mean, basically that our policy is just going to be, well, they're a sovereign country. They can do what they want with what they want, and we'll effectively just keep our mouth shut.
Well, I agree with Derek. I think we have to be careful here not to allow Xi Jinping to blame ship. We're already starting to hear the foreign actors or foreign agents influencing the protesters. Of course, that's not true, but we have to be careful how we respond to this. We're also seeing that the central government is shifting blame to the local authorities and saying to the local authorities, you need to stick to the playbook that we introduced in the 20-point plan on November the 11th. They are strictly banning the use of chains, padlocks, and other physical borders to stop protesters from people locked down from leaving. But I think it's too little too late, Brian. I think people see this, as Derek pointed out, as political control, not pandemic control. So I think the train has left the station on this.
But it's, you know, Drewardric, here's the hypocrisy, I think, of the United States in some ways. And I don't mean from a political party perspective. It's all of us, to be honest with you.